You're listening to The Indieshop here on KBH Radio at kbh.org. Said Lady Tron there with Ladybird from 604, and we had Mogwai before that. Take Me Somewhere Nice, name of the track. They were in town last week. Here are several members of the band Paloalto. Welcome, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Going very good.
Are we coming out okay on the mics?
Sound good?
Everything all right?
Sound great. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
I'm Andy over here, guitar.
Coming from the left.
I'm James.
And it's Florian right here.
Okay, let me get the mic situated here so we can hear you all better.
Uh-huh.
Hear y'all. Get that Texas flavor going.
There we go.
Okay.
I'll just talk to this invisible mic.
Well, it'll be stereo. You know
It's
what I'm
okay. It's all right. Play like this, actually.
saying? So you guys are actually from LA.
The band is formed in LA. Yeah, we're all from different areas. I mean, kind of come over here. Sorry, Andy, I'm gonna take that mic from you there. Yeah.
Okay.
We started the band in Los Angeles, and everybody's from different places, which I think makes the band unique.
Where are you guys from originally?
I'm from actually Phoenix, Arizona. Andy's
From,
Los Angeles.
yeah.
But we don't even talk about Andy when we talk about the band anyway.
Right.
If you notice a lot of the pictures, he's in the back.
Oh, I just thought he was shy.
No, well, he is kind of shy. He's fighting that. This guy, Florian's from Nantucket, but he puts on this German accent.
Ah,
And
okay.
it really works he thinks it works for the chicks. I don't know.
Not at all, huh?
I don't know. Are you doing all right with it?
Once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, once in a while he does pretty good.
It's pretty good.
And if you twist it around a little bit, it almost sounds English.
Hey.
You know, it depends on what your mood is, I guess, per night.
Yeah, but the German thing kind of works out a little better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
More exotic or something?
It's
Yeah.
more exotic. It's
Yeah.
European,
It's the
he
whole-
likes to call it. He says, well, it's European.
The whole German engineering.
It's European
yeah.
without the tan.
Yeah.
That's what it is, really.
But they still tan. It's just topless.
Do they tan? They get weird
I-
tans, though, because they have the lederhosen on, so they get this weird tan line. Very bizarre.
Farmer
It's like,
tan.
it's farmer tan in
Exactly.
America, but it's different.
The dogs like it.
Farmer tan. Lederhosen tan. Tan and hosen.
Lederhosen.
Wassershosen, Lederhosen tan. Something like that. I don't know.
And I have to bust out my German English dictionary here.
Oh, boy.
And we had a guy in the chat room that was mentioning that he does your website.
Oh, Matt, probably. Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
He was talking about Matt. Yeah,
Matt.
STP Matt.
Oh, STP
That's
man.
him. That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So I think he's getting a little tired. But so how long has the band been together?
About a year and a half now.
That's it.
Yeah, it's bizarre how the length of time that the band's been together. It feels like we've been together forever, but I have to say that the band is just moving at an amazing rate, though, towards like even in songwriting and how we gel together. It's like the same unit. It's like one unit now. It's pretty amazing in
So you
such a
guys-
short amount of time.
So you guys have really good chemistry together.
Yeah, it seems to work. It seems to work, 2 parts German.
Put in a little dash of...
Little dash of Los Angeles.
Right.
Got yourself some paprika.
I mean, I tend to think that in any kind of relationship, whether it be romantic or personal or professional, chemistry is pretty much an overriding factor.
Oh yeah, definitely. But but you'd never know what it's going to be like. You never know what it holds when you start the group at the beginning. You don't know what's going to happen.
True.
Everybody could end up hating each other within the first month.
So I'm sorry if I go over a lot of questions that you've probably gone over.
No,
Infinite.
please do. We're trying to refine our answers as well.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
How did the band come about?
I was demoing a bunch of new songs, and I knew that I wanted to have a band. I didn't want to be a solo artist or anything like that, and so I just, by chance actually, I didn't actually go out hunting, in the Music Connection or in the LA Weekly or anything like that for people in the band. I was just out and bumped into people, literally just bumping into people, and them helping you up from the ground, when they knocked you over, and realizing that you drank too much, and
So it's very much chance.
Yeah, it was
Or
total
fate.
chance or fate, whatever you want to call it. I met Jason Johnson, lead guitar player, a year before I even thought about, I was putting the band together, but a year before that I saw him in another band, and I just thought he was amazing, and I knew that I wanted to have him in the band. He was kind of the only one that I knew. He was the only one in focus that I knew that could be in the band. And the funny thing is he was almost the last person to join the band, which is pretty funny. And met the bass player at a margarita party. And just by chance, I was playing Catherine Wheel and Swerve Driver songs on the acoustic, and in a drunken stupor. And he comes walking around the corner, and hey, he loves that kind of music as well. And we just started chatting, and that's how it happened. And Jason, of course, happened from a year back, and I was, pleading for him to join the band. He said no a lot, and then eventually he said yes. He was very confused young man. And then Andy here, to my right, was friends with Alex. They're old school friends, and Andy actually adds the icing to the cake. Major musical talent. And then Florian, we just, wandering through a potato patch.
Knockwurst.
Well, actually, we were on tour as Paloalto as a 4-piece without a drummer. We had a drum machine, and we went to Oktoberfest, and that's how we met Florian. He was in an Oompa band.
I thought maybe it was at the Kraftwerk covers.
Right.
So it's only been a year and a half, and it seems amazing that you guys have gone this far in just that short time.
Yeah. It amazes me today. That sounds ridiculous, but it does. It really does. It's exciting. Every day is exciting because it's growing at an enormous rate.
Is it almost too much?
No, it can never be too much, ever. I
mean, do you worry about peaking too early, or?
No, not with this band. Not with this band at all. There's too much talent. It's just overflowing with it, and I think it's the excess stuff that flows over is the stuff that we utilize right now. We haven't even tapped into the actual jar of it.
Yeah, because watching you guys live, I saw the Troubadour show, and it was just amazing how tight you guys were.
Yeah, it amazed me too because we haven't played for a couple weeks. But it is. It's like we're working as a unit now. Everyone is breathing and thinking the same thing. It's amazing. You don't even have to look at each other anymore. It just happens. It's pretty amazing. It's like the band that you've always wanted to be in. So.
Well,
good.
you had mentioned Swerve Driver just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And one of the things I like to do when I have bands in is let them play whatever they want to play
Excellent.
for a while.
I have some Swerve Driver. I'd love to play some of that.
We actually have that synced up to play next.
Excellent.
A track called Duel.
Very good.
Track number 2 from Mezcal Head, I believe it's called.
Excellent.
And this is Paloalto. We'll be back in a few minutes with anything we can talk about here on the Indieshop in K Beach.
Sorry, my lengthy answers there.
You're listening to the Indieshop here on K Beach Radio at kbeach.org.
Cool sounding, though. Hi.
Gotta wonder what's going on here. We're here with Paloalto in the studio. And you guys want to tell us what we just heard?
That last track that you just heard was not Radiohead. It was Paul McCartney and Wings, circa, I think that was 75. Circa 75.
That before his time.
That was a track called Venus and Mars. It was the reprise on the album Venus and Mars. It's one of my favorites, except for the ending. That was actually the remix version. But
and before that, I guess I misplayed one of the tracks. We had the Rock Show from the same album.
Yeah, Rock Show from the same album. The track right before Rock Show is Venus and Mars, the very first track, and then it segues into Rock Show. It's kind of like one of those concept albums.
I must admit, I haven't heard a lot of Paul McCartney. I guess growing up, he was.
It's so strange. You always know of it because it was always on the radio. Because he's an amazing pop songwriter. So everything that he wrote, he had major hits all over the radio. So you grow up, you're listening to it. It's on the radio. It's just normal. It's natural. Right. It's not you going, "Wow, I got to get that record." It was always on the radio until just like a few months ago, I just started getting. There's nothing that's really inspiring me, or any. I don't think any of us
Yeah.
really. And so we're just kind of like going back in the back catalogs and really finding such amazing music, you know. And it's really kind of getting influenced by a lot of the '70s sound with real dry drums and, you know, just real warm sounds, big bass guitar tones and wet vocals and stuff like that, you know.
Well, let me ask you, growing up, as you guys grew up and you kind of formed your musical tastes, I mean, what bands really influenced you early?
For me, I'd have to say, I mean, I was really into Kiss. You know, that I think that was because, you know, my older brother and his school friends were into Kiss, and I think that's why I got into Kiss, you know, and then I got into Elvis. But the music that really set the pace for me was probably the Beatles. I got into the Beatles probably when I was in third grade, and I got the Meet the Beatles record, and it was kind of, that was it for me, singing along to, you know, There's a Bird on the Hill or whatever that song is. And then it was the Beach Boys, just because that was a big record in my parents' house. You know, the Beach Boys' Pet Sound record was constantly playing, Surfing USA and all that kind of stuff, and lots of Motown music. But that was for me. I don't know what these guys are.
Yeah. I Beatles mainly.
Yeah, it was
when I was
Beatles,
growing up.
yeah.
That's records my parents listened to.
Kraftwerk for Florian.
Yeah, Kraftwerk and Nina Hagen. No, no, it was just I was always playing in bands, but I was normally the youngest guy, so I would just listen to whatever the other guys would listen to, and there was a lot of Police and Joe Jackson at that time. So that was definitely one of the main music I was listening to.
So how about the period, say, the last 5-10 years?
What am I into now? In that last... oh, boy.
Because, I mean, early, it obviously has a huge influence.
Yeah, the early stuff, it's just... I don't know. It's really hard to put into words how influential the early stuff really is.
Right. As opposed to, say, like the last 5 years.
The last 5 years, I'd say the last 10 years. I'd have to go the last 10 years, because there was a period of time of music where, you know, you had your 80s stuff, and yeah, we're all big Cure fans and New Order and Joy Division and all that stuff, and that was great, and Love and Rockets, you know. That was a good time, but music was kind of at a standstill, and then what really came out, I think that a lot of the shoegazer music, like My Bloody Valentine and even the early Catherine Wheel and Slow Dive, and it was bands like that I think set the pace for us, you know, that really opened our eyes up again, and it was like exciting to hear those kind of bands like Ned's Atomic Dustbin and
Stone Roses.
the Stone Roses, yeah.
Charlatans.
I mean, we're naming a lot of English bands, of course, because I think at the time American music was, you know, was still so flogging this hair.
Aside from Nirvana.
Yeah, the grunge period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, over here, I had been into British music myself quite a bit, you know, in the 80s. And I guess kind of lost touch for a while.
Yeah.
And then the grunge came, and it just kind of, there was no place to go.
There really wasn't any place to go. I mean, there's some all right grunge music, I guess, if you want to quote unquote call it grunge music. I mean, you know, I wasn't a big fan of Nirvana. I don't think anybody in this band was a big fan of Nirvana or anything like that, or Soundgarden or stuff. It definitely changed the pace of American music, but it just sounded like the same thing to me. It was just, there wasn't anything really creative about it. It wasn't exciting. There wasn't something exciting about it, you know, like the Beatle records. There's something exciting about it, even at their simplest form, you know. It was just, their harmonies were incredible, and then the little changes in the song. They do this thing like they call a middle eight, you know. I'm just throwing that out because I don't know if people know that. You know, John Lennon was really big into that, and to the wording and stuff. A lot of the music, you know, when it was coming out, weren't using these type of, you know, techniques, I guess. It was like a lost art, and I think we try to really do that in our music, you know. Well,
speaking of grunge, someone in the chat room had a question for you. We're curious as to your impression that Scott Weiland did a cover of you guys.
Yeah, I don't think the Stone Temple Pilots were a grunge band. They're actually a great rock and roll band. Yeah, you know, when you think of rock and roll, you know, you think of a Black Sabbath and you think of Led Zeppelin, and like those are great bands, and those are, I mean, I'm a huge fan of those bands as well, because that to me is rock and roll, you know, at its hugeness and heaviness, you know, and that band Stone Temple Pilots, they're one of the last bands like that. There are no bands that are like that out there.
How does it feel to be covered?
It feels it. You know what? I actually was pretty tripped out the first time I heard it because he's Scott is an incredible mimicker. He mimics not only the body language that he does on stage, but he can mimic a lot of different voices. I don't know if anybody saw when they did the Doors Storytellers. He I forget which song he did, but he sounded a lot like Jim Morrison. It was pretty close, but that's what he does. I think that's because I think when he really appreciates something, really likes it, he goes for that vocal pattern first. I know a lot of the early stuff. He really went for a David Bowie sound on the later Stone Temple Pilots stuff, not the number 4 record, but the Vatican record.
Like a solo record? Even
the solo record, he had like a Bowie thing. I think he goes into character, which is the Beatles actually used to do that. They used to go into character and had to be that character and write the songs through that character. And it really helps. It makes a creative, thing. And to get back to going on my long-winded answer there, it was weird, hearing him do the song. I love it now. Every time I play it, I love his version of Some Things Must Go This Way. I think it's Scott Weiland at his best.
I'm gonna have to hear that.
Yeah, I don't know if we have a copy of it here, do we?
I don't have it.
Oh, that would
give
be
it
actually.
to,
I give the last copy
to Booker.
Another thing, as far as that song goes, and I don't know if you guys will think this is kind of funny. Reading any review I've seen of the band, they always mention Radiohead.
Right.
It seems like the predominant comparison.
Right.
And I was downloading what were supposed to be new Radiohead songs, and out comes Some Things Must Go This Way.
Really?
Bizarre. And I was just like, hey, wait a minute, I know that song.
That's our independent marketing team setting that.
There you go.
And I can imagine some guy who has no clue.
It's probably
actually
Radiohead putting that out, saying they wish they would have written that song. I don't know, or something like that. I'm just kidding.
They want to be pop still. They just.
Whatever. You can say I'm not into guitars anymore, and Tom York doesn't want to write songs anymore. It's like I think whoever was the songwriter in that band, whoever it was writing amazing songs. The songs were brilliant. There were songs. They were some of the best songs of the past, in the 90s. It was some of the best stuff of the past 12, 15 years, I would think. It's amazing. And to just like not acknowledge that and say, "Oh, I'm too predictable and people expect me to do this and I don't like the guitar anymore. It freaks me out." I don't know. I just don't know,
It seems kind of like they're trying to be so non-commercial and non-press oriented. And it seems like this whole persona of what you mentioned, being afraid of guitars and so forth, is almost just like that, this huge PR campaign.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I understand, like, you got somebody like Bjork saying, she doesn't want to take a contemporary or, the kind of the old approach to music and use guitars and things like that. I can understand that. She herself is an instrument that is just unbelievable. I mean, she herself could probably record every track, 24 tracks of just her voice and make a symphony sound out of the whole thing. I mean, but to have somebody like Tom York saying, "Oh, I don't like guitars" or something like that. I mean, that's how he wrote those songs. That's how he wrote "Creep" and "Fake Plastic Trees" and "High and Dry." Those are amazing songs. Those are written on the guitar.
Agreed. Well,
I feel bad for the band, really, more than anything.
And it makes me wonder if maybe the band is just asserting more influence over the songwriting.
I don't know. I think it's Tom York's, eccentricness that's really leading the a lot of those past articles, they said, the band almost broke up because of the direction that they were going. And a lot of the articles that are coming out now say, "Oh, it's back to the way it was. It's back to the way it was." And I heard the new record, and it's not back to the way it was. They're in a soup of dismay. They're somewhere they just have no idea where they're at. And somebody needs to pick up a damn guitar in that band.
We'll have to give them a call.
Yeah, give them a call. The Radiohead hotline.
We'll continue to play a few songs you guys want to hear. The next choice is Idaho.
Yeah, great band. Jeff Martin, brilliant songwriter. Actually, their new record is amazing. Actually, I'm a big fan of the new record.
This is from live record.
Live record back in '93, I would say.
Okay, this is called Tear.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Here, then we'll be back in a few minutes with Palo Alto. You're here on the Indie Shop here at KBH Radio at kbh.org. We have Palo Alto in the studio. You can hear everything in the background here.
Yeah.
Vacuum over here.
Actually, that'd be cool. Thanks, Jeremy.
Well, I'm just waiting for my laundry to be done.
Yeah, well,
Can you like?
We'll call the guys over.
Around here.
Just heard a track by you guys, of course.
Yeah, it's a
Brand new song?
Brand new song called "Country Drive." And we're really excited about this song. Actually, we played it live for the first time at our Troubadour show. It was so incredible. The crowd it just blew up.
That was good.
It was really good.
It was nice.
Yeah.
How far are you guys into a new album?
Oh man.
Got a lot of songs, but
Yeah. And the next record could go in such different directions, you know. I mean, it's definitely not gonna. There'll be songs, so I don't want anybody to think that there's not gonna be any songs. Of course, there will be guitars.
Will be no samplers.
There won't be any samplers, but there might, you know.
Now, I heard some of you guys are just dumping all the drums and going with drum machines again.
Yeah, we're going back to the drum machine thing, like we said earlier.
Depeche Mode.
Echo and the Bunnymen, you know, Echo being the drum machine,
Right.
you know. But
Right.
That's. I guess we're kind of like touching on the Radiohead thing, and as far as your guys' sound. I'm assuming that obviously you're fans of music, you're
Yes.
artists. How difficult is it to be a musician and a fan at the same time?
That's a good question. I'd have to say, I know when you first start in a band, you're more of a fan than ever when you first start off, because you don't understand how the process works of making a record, and how everything, you know, goes to tape, and you know, what goes behind promoting it and everything like that, and going on tour. When you don't understand that, and you're just a fan, it's a kind of a naive look of how, you know, bands are and things like that. I know a friend of mine went through such a changing period when after he became in the band, you know, and then went out on tour, did big touring and things like that. Was always a huge fan, but saw these other bands as like, oh my God, these unholy, just huge godlike, you know, beings and stuff. And then after he went through, you know, going out on tour and standing in the same shoes as those bands that they thought were this amazing, and being a fan of this music and all, it lost lots of its luster. And that's what happens. It's actually harder to keep yourself being a fan of stuff while striving to, you know, just be the musician. You know, it's really weird. It's a weird place to be, actually, because you find yourself dissecting music rather than just listening to it for the enjoyment of listening to it. I finally am like, I think, broke down that wall. I'm like getting closer, more being a fan again. You know, I still dissect things in a scientific way, you know, but
It makes you go out and find other
Yeah.
records and things that you wouldn't, you know, like obscure stuff that you want to check out, you know.
Well, you mentioned that you are tending to go backwards now.
yeah, I think I've reached, because I know early on I was actually just getting so frustrated because I couldn't just stop and listen to it. Go, oh yeah, that's great. You know, with your headphones on, your eyes closed, you're going, oh yeah, that's a doubled up vocal there, and that's okay, I see. Okay, they did that with low compression. That's a 2.1 compression. Okay, and that's how I was just like, you go mental. You know, you can really drive yourself crazy, and I know I've done that a few times.
When it comes to songwriting, is it hard not to have being a fan leech
That's a
into what
whole
you're doing?
other can of worms that we're opening up. I mean, songwriting it's not that it's calculated, but it's definitely, you're looking at everything with a microscope, you know, because you want it to be great. You want it to be, when you listen back on it on the monitors, that you become a fan. You know, that's how great you want it to be, that it makes you become a fan like that. And it does that, you know. We write songs and they come out amazing, and all of a sudden you're sitting back and you're enjoying listening to it, you know, rather than going, ooh, that one, ooh, that part,
Yeah,
you know, I don't know.
So how often do you listen to your own CD?
You know, I just started listening to it again recently, within the past month. I haven't listened to it since it's been out, really. because I don't know, it's just kind of bizarre to me.
I guess you hear quite enough of it when you tour.
Well, it's like, you hear a lot of it when not only you're touring, but you hear a lot of it when you're in the studio recording it. You hear that track, at least 100 times in one day, the one song, because you keep going back and you're putting other thing on, you keep listening to it back, and by the time you're done with it, you're just like, I'm done with it. I don't even want to listen. I want to listen to it fresh ears. I'll give it a few months or whatever, a week or whatever you do,
And when you hear one of the songs now, is it hard not to look at it and say, man, there's some more changes I want to make?
Oh yeah, I mean it's like, the old cliche, it's like a painting, it's never done, and it really isn't. It's not done. I guess it is done though once it's been packaged and a label's been put on it and there's a barcode on it and it's out and it's done. That song is done, But like the song we just heard, "Country Drive," I'm like a huge fan of that song, to say the least. So we did that actually in our own studio. That's a record that we did in our own studio.
So you guys have your own studio now?
Yeah, we have our own recording studio. Yeah, we've had it for a while. I mean, I'll be honest, the demos that we made before the record came out, I think are a little bit better than the record, but that's just me.
So how was it, going back just a little bit, how was it when you first, you guys just started, kind of had some semblance of a band together, and you started playing live, writing music, and then you get approached about doing a deal?
Well, the thing was the demos were done, and we were just putting a band together surrounding the demos, just basically the guys who were joining the band, Alex and Jason, and we had a different drummer at the beginning, and we were just learning the demos, and just basically when we'd play the demos out. We didn't really start writing anything until about a month we were together. Then we wrote a song called "Swim," which is on the record, and I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? What was my question?
I don't know
What was
where
the
you were
question
gonna
one more
go.
time?
I don't know where you're going.
The feeling you had...
The Beatles.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
No,
I
it's
was trying
fine.
to piece it together.
The feeling you had when you guys first started passing the demo around.
Oh, right. Yeah, thank you very much. Rick Rubin actually heard the demos before we were even out really playing around. We played like about 3 or 4 shows. And then he heard the demo and flipped out over the demos. He said, "Oh, these are the best demos I've ever heard." And when I think about that now, I go, well, why don't we just put those out on the record, So
you actually think the demo is better than what came out as the finished project?
there's a few songs. To be honest, there's a few songs that the demo really just, it's like anything. The demos just capture the essence and the excitement of when you're first putting it down. When you wait another a year or whatever to go back in and try to reenact the magic. You can't recreate vibe, I guess, or anything like that. I don't know.
There's a sense of life.
You try to wear the same shoes and the same clothes you were wearing on that day, and and whatever, it just doesn't work. You can't do it. Once it's done on that demo, that's the way it should be. If the demo sonically sounds appealing, then you should just leave it like that and release it like that. That's what major labels are missing the boat on the whole thing. They hear these things and they flip out over it. You know what? Just stop right there and just put it out, or remix it. But but the magic is there. Just put it out like that. That's something I really would like to get into. I'd like to have a label that just put out demos, because there are a lot of bands out there that have amazing demos, and it's like, why change it?
Could that be something?
Great.
Could that be something to do with, say, the production work? As far as you worked with Rick Rubin, is that something that perhaps he wanted to attach his name to it?
Oh yeah, of course. The labels, that's the thing.
They want to slick it up.
The suits, these hierarchies at these labels, they're not. Most of the time, they're not musicians. They're just people that are just trying to get a check at the end of the month. And they're saying, "Oh, go in and re-record it," and they're picking the producer to do it. I understand Rick Rubin, wanting to change certain things and things like that, and putting his name on it. Yeah, and we went, we were like okay with that. But hindsight, you look at it, because now you have something to compare it to.
How was it
Before you
working
did.
with him?
It was great, actually. It was very odd at the beginning because he's a quiet person. You know, he doesn't like confrontation, and
I mean, I'm stuck with the image of him in the Beastie Boy videos.
yeah, well,
Throwing pies.
it is. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. He's just a real soft-spoken guy. He's like almost shy to the point, but he knows what he likes. You know, I mean, he doesn't really play any instruments. I mean, I know he dabbles a little bit, but he's not like a musician, so to speak, and he doesn't really turn any of the knobs on the desk or anything like that at the studio, and he just kind of says, "I'm hearing this," and 9 out of 10 times the things that he's hearing in his head, he gets results. He gets down on tape, and we learned a lot. We learned a lot about, you know, just being simple, you know, on the records and not overkilling everything with, you know, reverbs and things like that, and learning a lot about just staying dry and letting the true tone of the guitar or the voice, you know, or the drums just do their thing. And it works. It works majority of the time, but there's sometimes, you know, where it's not going to work, and we've had that experience as well.
Do you have anybody in mind to produce a new album?
We're going to produce our next record.
Sounds good so far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think if we have a producer, I mean, I know Rick Rubin's really going to love to do the next record, and I think if he does the next record with us, we're going to have to work together, you know, and I think we'll find a middle ground now. I mean, when we did the first record, he really brought it to the space that he felt necessary, that it needed to be to succeed, you know, and a lot of the times they were saying, you know, oh, it sounds too much like Radiohead, and that was the fear of a lot of the record people's feelings, you know. It's that, oh, if you add reverb or a certain guitar sound or a Fender Rhodes piano, that all of a sudden you're Radiohead. I don't get that, you know. There you go again, those hierarchies trying to tell you, you know, what to do, and it's a strange place to be. But we made that record. I'm proud of that record, of the Paloalto record, and it, you know, it's still young and it still has a lot of life left into it, and we're, you know, still trying to get it out to the masses.
I'll tell you, it's one of the few albums that I've heard in the last 6 months that you can pick it up each time, and I heard it again last night, and it just, each track just grabs you.
It does. I mean,
it pulls you along the whole time.
There's still some, like, there's a youthfulness to it that it doesn't really die out every time you listen to it. I personally, like in the last month, I play it and I could repeat it again, the record, and there's something new that kind of jumps out, you know, and it's I don't know, it's an exciting record.
One last question as far as your live performance. Was the intention to blow everyone's ears out? I think my ears are still ringing.
Well,
Really, it was that loud in there?
well,
It was loud.
the thing that people need to understand is that we're not trying to sound like Radiohead. We're trying to sound like The Who.
Oh, okay.
Is what we're trying to do,
Okay.
and
That's right.
that is the ultimate truth. That is the end-all truth of what Paloalto is about. I mean, our biggest, you know, comparison should be The Who, because that's who we try to be. You know, it's got to be loud, and it's just got to be loud, and it's got to be dynamic. You know, it's all about the live show.
I look forward to seeing you guys on the 30th anniversary of The Simpsons then.
Yeah.
The East and West, was it Springfield? New and Old Springfield? There you go. If I can get you guys to do an acoustic performance after this next few tracks,
Sure.
All right.
be very grateful. Next song you wanted to play was Adorable.
Yeah, adorable. Great band. They're on Creation Records, probably back in 1991, 92. This is the band that should have been the Radiohead right here.
Yeah, quite a big favorite among quite a few people who know something about music. So this is Sunshine Smile. We'll be right back with Paloalto. You're listening to The Indie Shop here on KBH Radio at kbh.org. And we have Paloalto in the studio, of course. Just heard the Beach Boys, a track called Don't Talk. And before that, Adorable, Sunshine Smile from Against Perfection. And the guys are nice enough to perform a couple songs acoustically. And so I'm going to let you guys just take over.
All right.
Get you the mic.
Alright.
And here you go.
All right. kids. They left the room. Let's have fun. Here we go. Ready? This is called Pick Yourself Off the Beach. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Off the beach, looking at them, walking down south to the edge, looking down at the sand, wondering if I'd ever get out, seeing if the trouble's outside, looking at the clouds above, dreaming it's all black and white. She wants to talk it over. You can lose yourself from here, where she can care. It's better to close your eyes. Picks out the soul and hair, cuts out the pain within. From the beach, brush off the sand, protect yourself from us, do the best that you can. She wants to talk it over. You can lose yourself from here, where she can care. It's better to close your eyes. Kicks out the soul and hair, cuts out the vein within. It's better to close your eyes. Picks up the soul in it, cuts out the pain within. But she can care. It's better to close your out the soul in heaven, cuts out the pain in here. Oh, from heaven, from heaven. From heaven.
It's nice.
All right.
Mind if I turn the lights on?
No.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
There's some photos here.
Oh, you're killing the mood, the vibe. What do you want to do now?
That's all
Sadly,
right.
we have no camera.
That's all right.
Throw the beard?
We do another one? Yeah, let's do throw the beer.
Throw the beard? Throw the beard.
Remember how to do this one?
Do you remember how to do this?
I remember how to do it.
Let's see if I remember. Okay, this one's Throw the Brick, which hopefully is going to be the next single that's coming out, so we'll see. We'll see how it all works out.
And I had written beard already, so.
Oh,
Throw the
jeez.
beard.
Come on. So you soaked yourself another. See, the damage has begun. Cross these aches, we find a reason to get home. But these reasons have no one, yeah. And your mind is slowly aching, and your course is setting down. I made this house to live inside. I want to call you. Throwing these bricks of late, I must be out of town. Here we stand to make believe, prepared to fall through. Falling so fast you can't stop to wonder why. And I know myself's against myself, yeah. So you cried yourself a million tears, wasted time confusing us, and your mind is slowly aching, and your course is setting down. I made this house to live inside. I want to call you. Throwing these bricks of late, I must be out of town. Here
we stand and make believe, prepare to fall through. Falling so fast you can't stop to wonder why. This house to live inside, I want to call you. Throwing these bricks of late, I must be out of time. Here and we stand and make believe, prepare to fall through. Falling so fast you can't stop to wonder why. And I know myself's against myself, yeah. Ooh, Would you want your mic back?
Yeah, I can do some talking. It's like one of the biggest pleasures to have a band that you really appreciate and are into, and to actually be able to talk to you guys and to have you come in here and do a song or two.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks.
It's amazing. It's one of the biggest benefits of doing a show, if not
I've had actually, believe it or not, a really great time.
Oh, cool.
Coming down.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting us down.
What I try to do is I know that you guys get questioned all the time, as far as, you know, you travel around and you see and talk to people all the time, and you try to make it a little bit different and, you know, not so corporate or
Right.
professional maybe.
Well, this is definitely not corporate.
That's true. Professional is another question, but I do want to thank you. There's a couple other quick things. One, you brought down a ton of CDs to give away,
Yes, we did. Yep.
Yeah.
and I'd say, I guess the first people to email me, indieshop@hotmail.com, will win a copy.
Excellent.
We have quite a few as well, so do send us those emails. And there are a couple quick questions. One, I'm kind of questionable as far as if I want to ask or not. Someone mentioned that you might be dating someone right now.
Yes. This is so great.
Oh, no.
You can just say yes or no, and we'll just leave it at that.
I'm gonna love to answer this question.
Cool.
Go ahead, ask me the question.
Okay, are you dating someone by the name of Alyssa?
You know,
For me, it's a little personal. I didn't want to go there, but someone asked, so.
yeah, you know, I'm gonna have to say no. No, you know what's so crazy about that is that she is a bit of a fox, I must say, and I was pretty honored when that showed up on the the website. It's like, oh, well, all right. All right, well, things are moving up, I guess.
Moving up in the world, yeah.
Things are moving, you know.
If they'd only told you.
Yeah. I wish it was true. I really do.
Makes you wonder how that comes about.
So let's. You know what? You know what we should do is, we should find
Alyssa, if
her.
you're listening, you know,
Yeah, we should find her. Well, I know she actually was married to a friend of mine, who was in a band called Remy Zero. So
Ah.
that's just kind of strange. Actually, he dated another friend of mine.
He?
Yeah. He did. Christian dated a girl by the name of Lisa DeLallo years ago, which is funny. He went from one Italian girl to the next.
A little fetish there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, another more, I guess, average, ordinary question. Are you guys planning on touring in Florida anytime soon?
In Florida.
Someone sent me one of the listeners sent me a question asking.
You know, I'd love to play Florida. Actually, we had a great time in Florida. We met a few dames in Florida and had a crazy time. No, that was
West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach.
West
Yeah,
Palm
when we
Beach.
played Florida. We played the Jackrabbit there in Jacksonville, which was really fun. That's a great place. It's a total indie rock
Met
venue.
a really cool band there too.
Met a great
from
band.
Boston
Yeah.
called the Damn Personals.
Yeah.
You should check them out. They're really cool.
The damned personals.
The damn personals. They're really good. They're kind of like you know what? I actually prefer them over at the drive-in. They're definitely like
It's that kind of
energy
thing.
like that, like Supergrass meets at the drive-in kind of a thing. It was good. They're good. They were
Edge
good.
and energy come together, huh?
Great bass player in that band.
That's really cool.
Amazing bass player in that band.
You don't really think that when you see a band.
No.
The bass player usually doesn't stand out.
Yeah, this guy plays like Paul McCartney though. It's pretty amazing.
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean that was the, I mean, if you just say that right there, then you understand what kind of sound they were. That's why I said Supergrass, because the bass player in Supergrass is amazing too, and he plays all that kind of McCartney-esque, you know, bass lines and stuff.
Very tuneful.
It's kind of like a McCartney day.
Yeah, the Beatles.
Back once again, the Beatles, you know, make the world go round. It kind of sucks that they put that bar up so high. You know what I mean?
But it is. It should be that high.
And for a band that was only together for 6 years, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
As far as the popular conscious goes.
It's bizarre. Those guys had to deal with the devil.
Just imagine how it might have been had they not shown up.
Oh, I know. We wouldn't be here.
No doubt.
Yeah. No doubt wouldn't be here either.
You sure you want to go there?
Toupee.
But like I said, I'm still grateful you guys came down.
Thank you very much, man. I had a great time.
I've been trying to get in touch with for months now, and it just,
I know. You know what? It almost didn't happen tonight. I apologize. We were in the studio recording a new song, and you know, Florian was like, "What is he
I keep calling him like,
coming or what?" And I was like, "Oh my god! All right, I guess we're going."
One more track.
We're like trying to hear it on the AM station driving back to my house. I don't know if this is coming on. It's all.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, what's the immediate plans for the band?
Oh boy.
go get a beer, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna go have a beer right now. You know what? The immediate plans are just to start getting on the road again. You know, we want to get out on the road. We're gonna demo a lot of the songs actually at another studio. You know, just been writing. Immediate plans, just getting up back on the road. And there's gonna be a really crazy type of field marketing that's going to be going on, so people be aware. Something's going to be very interesting that's going to happen. So people keep their eyes open for some wacky, not wacky in the sense of comical. It's going to be very
Different.
It's going to be very cool because we're going to finally do it our way. And no, we're not like thinking about killing anybody or anything like that. That's not what we're doing. But we just recently hooked up with a really great promotions team. These real creative people, and they believe in the band and they believe in the music.
They have to.
And they are going to do some really amazing things for this band. So I can't wait. That sounds real exciting for us, actually.
Well, you guys definitely deserve it.
Yeah, we do.
So I'll look forward to get some
Thank you.
new stuff from you guys, and
Yeah.
you know, we'll be playing these.
Excellent.
And I very much look forward to hearing what comes out.
Thank you very
Wish
much.
you the best of luck.
Thank you.
So until next week, and of course, once again,
Keep listening.
Indieshop@hotmail.com if you want to win the CDs, and we'll see you next week. So take care.
Thank you. Wahoo! How you doing there? You're listening to the Indieshop on kbeach.org. What are we? Who are we? Well, wait, let's start over. Here we go. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe.
We going again?
Wahoo! Hey there, doggies! This is Paloalto, and you're listening to the Indieshop on kbeach.org. And we're gonna do a little song for you here. It's called Country. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Dip, 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 dip. Down the country, on the country road. Going down the country, on that country road. And I'm going down the country, on that country road. Going down the country road.